Does it ever feel like your own mind is a prison? Like you're stuck in a relentless loop of the same thoughts, driving you towards the same behaviors over and over again? You desperately want to stop, but you feel like you've lost control. What if the way out isn't about finding some magic key, but about realizing you've had the power to walk out the door all along? Today, we're talking about that mental loop, what's really going on, and the practical steps countless people have used to finally break free and reclaim their minds. That feeling of being trapped has a name in many recovery circles: the mental obsession. It's not a formal clinical diagnosis, but it perfectly describes that state where your brain feels hijacked by a thought about a substance or a behavior. It's an endless reel of thinking about using, figuring out where to get it, how to hide it, or just replaying it all in your head. This isn't just a craving, it's a powerful compulsive pull that seems to have a mind of its own, making you feel completely powerless. Have you ever found yourself mentally mapping out your next move, even when you were supposed to be focused on work or playing with your kids? That's the mental obsession at work. They are persistent, unwanted thoughts that are almost impossible to shut off, creating this massive wave of anxiety that just pushes you right back towards the thing you're trying to escape. It's a vicious cycle, but understanding what's happening is the first step in taking back your power. So, what is actually going on in your brain to create this loop? Your brain is built to learn and be efficient. When you repeat an action, especially one that activates the brain's powerful reward and motivation systems, you start to carve out a mental path. This is your brain's neuroplasticity in action. With addiction, this process shifts into overdrive. Your brain's reward system, which uses chemicals like dopamine, learns to strongly associate the substance or behavior with a compelling sense of motivation. It's not simply about a flood of pleasure. It's a complex process where the brain learns to prioritize that behavior above almost everything else. Soon, your brain starts linking everything to it. These are your triggers: certain people, places, feelings, or even times of day that can unleash an avalanche of obsessive thoughts. The urge starts to feel automatic, just like a reflex. And this powerful addictive loop can overshadow the part of your brain that handles rational thinking and impulse control, the prefrontal cortex. Research shows that its function can be altered, making it much harder to hit the brakes. It's not that you're weak, it's that the neuro superhighway to using is freshly paved and wide open, while the exit ramp for rational choice has gotten a bit overgrown. But the good news is, just like your brain learned its way into this, you can rewire it to find a way out. Now that we get the problem, let's talk solutions. Rewiring your brain isn't some mystical process. It's a skill you can learn. And here are three practical keys you can start using to unlock your mind from that obsessive loop. The first key is creating a little distance from your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. Mindfulness teaches you to observe them without judgment and without immediately acting on them. Instead of wrestling with the thought, just notice it. Try labeling it. Ah, that's an obsessive thought. Or that's a craving. When you do this, you step out of the driver's seat of the thought and into the observer's seat. You're no longer a participant, you're the watcher. It's a simple shift that reminds you that you are the one in control, not the thought. The reframe. This technique comes straight out of CBT, a widely used evidence-based approach helping with substance use disorders. CBT is all about learning to spot and challenge that distorted thoughts that keep you stuck. So, when a thought like, I'll never be able to handle this, pops into your head, you don't have to accept it as a fact. You can question it. Ask for the evidence. Think about a time you did handle a tough moment. You then reframe the thought into something more realistic, like, this is hard right now, but I have the tools to get through this moment. Journaling is a fantastic way to practice this. When you write down those automatic negative thoughts and consciously reframe them, you're practicing a new way of thinking that over time helps reinforce healthier mental habits. Key three, become the architect. You can't build a new life using the old blueprints. Becoming the architect means actively redesigning your environment and routines. This step is critical. It starts with identifying the people, places, and situations that trigger those obsessive thoughts and making a plan to avoid them when you can. Let's be real, you can't live in a bubble, and some triggers are unavoidable. For those situations, you need a solid plan for how you'll cope. And more importantly, you have to fill the space that addiction left behind. Find healthy activities that give you a natural sense of accomplishment and reward. Take a walk, call a supportive friend, get lost in a book, a hobby, listen to music. Every time you choose one of these new actions over the old one, you are actively paving a new road in your brain, a road that leads to freedom. Look, breaking free from this obsessive loop isn't a one and done deal. It's not about finding a magic cure. It's about the small, daily choices you make to use these keys and rewire your brain's responses. The brain can and will change based on your actions. You have the ability to interrupt the old loop and build a new one. If this resonated with you, please consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear this message. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which one of these keys are you going to start using today? And remember to be kind to yourself through this. You've got this.